Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico.
Wham! I'll pound that pussy into kitty litter.
And today, I used to pray for times like this. Nico, what do you mean? So, one of my favorite performers from the Golden Age, Ace Rockwood, has officially bottomed on camera. Nico, why is this such a big deal? Because I'm going to bypass all of there are no real tops left and where the real men at because hold on, before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on Patreon at patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly lives, and be a part of the podcast, which is airing every Thursday at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. PM. That was worded oddly. My apologies. But yes, if you like this kind of content, if you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon. If you can't support monetarily, just like, comment, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm and keeps us going. So, back to the conversation. I'm not necessarily surprised, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but there is a stigma that still surrounds bottoming or being experimental with your sexuality, even when it pertains to individuals whose entire job is to be experimental and showcase their sexual exploration. Moving on, because this shouldn't be a conversation, seeing as how time and time again Mr. Bolden. Jay Knight leaked a video of Mr. Bolden bottoming for him. When that came out, Mr. Bolden became very anti-bottom, saying, I'm not no bottom, you can't call me no bottom, even though we saw him getting pounded out. Raheem eventually became a versatile performer when he started off as strictly top. Even people like Tiger Tyson, I've heard since I'm now in New York, that in his personal life, he was versatile, even the bottom in a few relationships. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a wild thought to assume that at some point in their life, every top has bottomed, or at least thought about it. I understand when I bring this conversation up, a lot of people get defensive as if bottoming is something to be ashamed of, but it should be okay to explore something sexually and then be like, okay, that wasn't for me. And if you want to be a strict top going forward, that's completely understandable. But that's not what we're here to talk about, because that conversation is running to the ground. I'm tired of y'all talking about it. Every time one of these performers decides to actually flip it up, or did not mean it like that. Every time a performer decides to switch it up, y'all get in your feelings about these strangers exploring their personal lives. Especially when we see things like Kai Levine and Alpha Ant's personas are Dom total tops. It does switch up their image and flip it on its head. But a lot of y'all are not realizing that opens you up to a larger audience if you are first versatile, because now you get to give content to both tops and bottoms in different ways. But also, it's perfectly natural to explore. But I've devoted enough time showing y'all that the total dom tops within the industry have most likely and or all have taken dick off camera, and now on camera we can focus on the real discussion. Why is everyone's video so aggressive? Nico, and I'm not I'm not I'm not a martyr. It's not like I give baby strokes and tenderly kiss everybody I encounter, but watching this video, and like I said, I've been shouting out Ace Rockwood on my channel as one of the most stunning men I've ever seen grace film, Seeing his first bottoming scene with Yardie Style, Nico, who is Yardie Style?
Bomber clap.
I mean, it was hot because I got to see Ace Rockwood in a different light, but when you actually look at the film, it is violently aggressive. He looks wildly uncomfortable and in pain, and if he tries to run, if he tries to move a hand, if he tries to get up, he gets hit, he gets restrained, he gets held down. And even at certain points in the video, he's saying it hurts, or he's saying, can we please hurry up and make this finish, And I mean, obviously, when people ask me, how do I feel about Kept Secret, or how do I feel about Yardie Style, I always have to preface it with their content. It is extremely aggressive and violent, but at this point in their careers, they've been doing this for at least 7 years, 7 to 10. I don't know how long each of them have been in the industry. you know what you're getting into. Like, if you decide to collaborate with them, you know your whole is getting blended. So at that point, I can't necessarily judge it because I'm like, we have enough evidence that you knowingly walked into this. But it's very concerning how violent a lot of these videos are getting. And I mean, it did numbers, you know, because that is a big brand crossover, Yardie Style and Ace Rockwood. Because genuinely, when I saw the preview pictures, because they posted pictures like, oh, we're doing something, I'm like, okay, maybe Ace is, you know, giving some throat because he is throat goat. But no, he was getting I can't say certain things on YouTube, but she was taking it. She was taking it. But I do want to pose the question, because when it comes to like content and videos, it's very rare that I do see genuine intimacy and care. And I'm not necessarily saying you had to make love to every individual you film with, because clearly that's going to cause some controversy going forward. But I would have to agree with some of the other commenters saying that maybe if he did it with like Fat Rabbit Killer, Nico, Fat Rabbit Killer is a very intimate and gentle person. He'll warm you up. If he had did it with, who's another sensual top? Nico, I'm sorry, when I watch adult cinematography, I'm focused on the bottom. Raheem, he also starts you off gentle. I'm trying to think of tops. Like, it's Crave Melanin. Crave Melanin is a really good top. That man is beautiful too, just stunning. But yeah, so point is, there are a lot of big name tops that are a lot more gentle and focused on the mutual pleasure of both parties, that I was just surprised that he started off with Yardie Style. But once again, maybe that's the kind of, you know, super happy adult fun time that he's into. Maybe he does enjoy the more domination, aggressive side, but it just looked wildly painful and uncomfortable, and he looked like he was in pain 97.8% of the video, and that's what was taking me out of it. Because a lot of people agree that it was hot, and we're finally moving past the whole concept of versatile bad, but they all noticed that, oh, this looks like he was not necessarily enjoying himself. But that could also be said about Yardie's style of filming. You don't necessarily see a lot of repeat collabs. I think I saw Rico Pruitt a few times, but aside from that, it's usually like one and done. And he's a very popular performer. Clearly, he does something on camera that people want to see, but it just looks like every bottom is in violent pain, like violently uncomfortable. I have not seen a singular video that they look like they're just enjoying themselves. But maybe it's because I'm not familiar with all his discography. Mind you, these people have been in the game for like 6-7 years, so it is a toss-up in the air. But I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. How did you feel seeing Ace Rockwood, one of the quote-unquote final tops, become versatile? And how do you feel about the versatile partner being Yardie Style? Did you see the video? Did it look like he was enjoying himself? Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it. The man looked like he was in violent pain, consistently trying to stop, move, you know, reposition, and it's just getting hit and like restrained, and it ain't sit right in my spirit. Why would you do my man like that? Nico, why would you do my man like that? But yes, I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. Oh, and how do you feel about the... Sorry, I already like ended the video. And how do you feel about the lack of intimacy in a lot of scenes? Because I've heard time and time again, and I've seen it myself, in a lot of filming, it just comes off as we are two people using each other's body to make money. It never really looks like there's like a focus on intimacy, at least in a lot of the videos that I see. Maybe it's just because I'm not tuned into the proper, you know, performers, but a lot of them just seem like they're just slapping bodies together for a paycheck. But that's just my opinion. I definitely want to hear yours down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Junior A and Caleb R. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. And this week's live stream discussion is going to be red flags in relationships. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in, and I'll see you guys next time.